These are your latest RTS news, and I have new game releases to share, as well as exclusive gameplay footage of upcoming games their developers have shared with me, showing amazing progress, along with several invitations to betas and playtests for games which are almost finished. I will also give you my recommendations for old classic or new favorite RTS games which are on sale right now.
Big guns, big plans.
So let's start off with a bang and never before seen gameplay footage of Defcon Zero. This is what its developers have been cooking up as they prepare to launch their game's Steam store page, along with a full gameplay reveal and cinematic trailer this October.
Well done, Commander. You secured the area, but don't celebrate just yet.
Their small team has been working with no funding or salaries while trying to find potential investors or a major publisher, and here we can all finally get a real taste of what Defcon Zero will play like. You can probably tell by the look of it that this game is made in the Unreal Engine, and now many of its base systems have been connected up into a working model. The most interesting features are certainly the automated cover mechanic and the building garrison system, while the basic RTS features like base building, an economy and resource system, unit production, AI and combat mechanics have already been implemented.
Training.
Goodbyes are loaded!
The animations, visual effects, pathfinding and UI are still basic and very much a work in progress, but I was personally very impressed when I watched this gameplay for the first time. Since their Steam page will be published soon, I recommend jumping into their Discord, link to which is in the description of this video, and share your impressions directly with the developers. You can also leave your comments under this video, as the devs will see them and answer back.
Construction complete. Building.
In case you're not a fan of fancy Unreal Engine graphics, how about a full-on retro trip down the memory lane all the way to 90s, complete with super weapons, trained animals as units, electro-metal soundtracks and FMV live-action cutscenes for the retro-futuristic combat of Dying Breed. Its indie dev has sent me a wealth of footage from his latest build, and we can enjoy both base building and unit combat. This one does have a publisher behind it, and progress has been steady with more features being shown lately, like the multiple types of super weapons, going from the more usual to the outright insane. Dying Breed's post-apocalyptic world, full of all sorts of human, zombie and alien lifeforms, is one I have told you about before in my dedicated video, which you can watch linked up here and down in the description, and I can't wait for a new demo of it to become available. It will have all the types of terrain and units to fight on them you could ask from such an RTS. Land, air and naval, complete with combat-trained and weapon-equipped whales. Caves filled with massive worms are just another battlefield to test out powerful weapons and abilities in Dying Breed. Those of you who prefer large-scale RTS games with lots of units and massive sprawling bases are probably wondering when is that free demo and Kickstarter of Century Shattered Sun going to finally drop. Well, the good news is this year, and the even better news is the stuff developers have added to it recently. Do note that Patreon backers are already playing this version you're watching here. The game's mission design has seen the most progress along with the multiplayer mode. Devs are planning to add walls and barricades, possibly with customization for aesthetics, and once the Kickstarter is in motion, they hope to unlock extra goals like more maps and biomes, while they will work on many life quality improvements like pre-building order queues, improved UI and economy visualization. One of the things still under wraps are gigantic top-tech tier units even I haven't seen any glimpses of yet. Some of these elements are directly inspired by mods for Supreme Commander and Forge Alliance Forever, which is the playbook by which these devs swear by, as they consider it to be the best RTS game ever made. Feel free to tell me in the comments if you agree with that statement.
Enemy contact. Light 'em up!
Next I bring news of Stormgate and its exit out of early access in the form of a full release fronted by its Ashes of Earth single-player campaign on the 5th of August. We will all be able to play through its 12 campaign missions, along with testing our skills in the 1v1 mode and with access to Sigma Labs for upcoming content. If you didn't know, Sigma Labs is the part of the game that holds the work-in-progress features like co-op missions, 3v3 Team Mayhem mode and the Terrain Editor Alpha. The full release of that 3v3 mode is currently planned for autumn of 2025. This move by the developers is quite controversial as the game got only up to 0.6 version for this full release, something many RTS fans are still arguing over. Some consider it about time to let the game fly on its merits and see if it picks up a bigger audience. Others fear missing content and work-in-progress features will just mean an unfinished product that might never get finalized. You can tell me what you think about this in the comments below, but I see it as a necessary step as the game's player count stalled and something radical had to be done. And here is how I am attempting to radically change my life going full-time on YouTube with the help of sponsored sections about games like Elemental Reforged by the publisher Stardock. They are going to release a fantasy civilization game in an RPG world in the true form they had envisioned it all the way back in 2008, but which the original game, Elemental War of Magic, never was due to technical limitations. Now, thanks to a 64-bit engine, this company and its longtime developers, most of which worked on the original game, have come to a point they can publish an ultimate 4X fantasy strategy game that will be set in a procedurally generated fantasy world which creates a new stage every time we play. And because of its RPG systems, every unit will have a unique history, stats, equipment and abilities. Our characters will be able to marry, produce heirs and inherit traits dynamically while we play through an immersive story-driven campaign rich with lore and meaningful decisions. Basically, Fallen Enchantress, Sorcerer King and the original game all rolled into one. We are going to be able to shape the land using terraforming mechanics, do quests, craft items and engage in tactical combat with an option to let our AI auto-resolve battles for us. The developers have made sure to redesign the UI and make it optimized for modern displays and high resolutions while integrating modding tools. You can wishlist this game using the link from the description, just like with all the other new and upcoming games I'll be talking about in this video. Now, I know I promised that interview with the developers of D.O.R.F in my previous RTS news video, but as that one is still in the works, how about brand new footage of the logistics system? Here is how resources are collected, transported and shared across your base buildings in this fantastic indie RTS. A few things of note from the devs is that a lot of these systems, as for example troop reinforcement trucks, are in a prototype stage of implementation. When a building is being placed for construction, it is meant for us to see it as semi-opaque and either green or red, depending on placement validity, which isn't working yet. As you might have noticed, units tend to clip a lot, and that is because the multi-tile unit collision is not yet implemented. The interactions of the forklifts with buildings require new artwork to make all the doors fit them. In the future, all buildings will have their own construction site graphics and will be able to rotate them 90 and 180 degrees so their doorways positioning allows for easier paths for transports. This project has so much support from its future players that every new dev video of it is followed by lots of heartwarming comments, and it is always wholesome to read through them all. And the next such game is Nebulous Fleet Command, whose main developer made one of his signature video devlogs detailing the progress of the long-awaited single-player campaign for this indie gem, which still has a very dedicated audience, which comes back in ever greater numbers for each new update. What we have been shown so far is that the future campaign in Nebulous is being made alongside the tools necessary to make it. A very interesting approach, but one that gets the job done with the tools perfectly suited for what is being made. It also means that these tools will be available for players to make their own campaigns. The story progression will take you from one system to another with different objectives and enemy fleets to overcome. Devs are adding space station boarding and capture mechanics, including docking, as well as character customization, improved look for battle damage on ships, and short cinematics which set up engagements. The next new release I want to show you is of the newest DLC for Terminator Dark Fate Defiance, titled Uprising. It is already out and available, bringing an entirely new sandbox-style strategic campaign set on a new map of the post-apocalyptic United States. Here we get to lead the Resistance faction against the Legion and other factions like the Cartel or Marauders while fighting over 22 map sectors. Engaging in combat over any of these map sections, which are divided into regular and key sectors, starts a real-time battle to which you take your custom-built army and fight on some of the brand new maps for unique rewards. Losing all key sectors means losing the campaign, but allies like the Integrators and Movement can give you some help, or you can buy upgrades at the global store. There are 5 mission types to get into and 3 optional objectives, while the global map gameplay itself is divided into planning and management phases, as well as the action phase. A new assault support helicopter has been added with this DLC, along with vehicle upgrades including integrator technology and different infantry units like the Cartel Templars. I honestly enjoyed this game every time I play it, and I hope you will too. Another game I have been enjoying and in most of its gameplay modes is Moduwar, a unique biological RTS in which you grow your floating base with additional organs instead of building it the old-fashioned way. In fact, the only old-fashioned thing in this amazing game are the FMV live-action cutscenes with human actors portraying support characters for your non-verbal module. Developers have now added 2 new maps available in both skirmish and multiplayer modes, team achievements, custom key bindings, save and load functions for single player, and a new survival challenge mode. They have also shown their roadmap detailing future updates in which they want to expand the story campaign, add more levels, NPC characters, and types of organs available to the module. These days, when anyone attempts to say RTS game developers just copy-paste old games, I simply point them to Moduwar's Steam store page. Next up, I have a true blast from the past for you in the form of a new remastered version of Outlive. Its 2025 edition now has a Steam page, and it promises enhanced graphics and sounds in all 3 single-player campaigns, Steam multiplayer support for up to 16 players, an updated campaign editor, and more. The gameplay itself is about a war between humans and AI machines, with lots of units, bases, super weapons, a research tree, espionage mechanics, and even a bit of diplomacy. Apparently it is being remastered by its original studio, which closed back in 2009. If anyone has an explanation they can share, I would love to read it. Now for some other blasts from the past you can buy cheaply these days, along with more recently released games which are on sale on Steam, like for example Imperial Glory, which is one of the only games that is akin to Empire Total War. Since we still don't have a sequel of that one, this one is worth checking out. Next is Conan Unconquered, a game I never found the time to play, but I did read a lot of mixed reviews about it. Always seemed to me like a great idea, even if it maybe wasn't finished in the best way. And another game which tried some very novel things is Tom Clancy's EndWar, a rare bright spot on Ubisoft's record when they let some dev team do something unique like commanding units with your voice. Similarly, EA surprised us all when it released Command & Conquer Remastered Collection, and it is frequently on sale like it is now, but since then, nothing more has been seen from EA about additional remasters. And on the topic of remasters, the one for Praetorians was okay in my book. It came out a while back, but at least it lets a whole new generation of gamers try its gameplay out and see what games the rest of us grew up on. Something I wish we got for Original War 2, as it is, pun intended, one of the most original old RTS games, especially due to its storyline. If you have watched my RTS news videos regularly, you might remember that I showed Veil of Ashes several times already, but now devs have sent me brand new footage of their updated gameplay, showing different steam-powered tanks in combat across maps with destructible environments. It might not have base building, but its strategic capture mechanics and customization of steampunk-themed hulking landships of 3 different factions with weapon systems and armor looks like a lot of fun. Visually, it is a very appealing game, and since it will have both multiplayer and skirmish modes of up to 8 players, I think many will find a way to enjoy it even if it launches without a proper single-player campaign. Do note, infantry units are part of the game and help to earn reinforcement points during battle so that you can request stronger units, tactical strikes and support. I hope you will wishlist it and that we get to play a demo soon.
Do you require a new master?
Yes.
Working with a small team and with limited funding is a hallmark of such projects, and it is the same for developers of Godsworn, who despite such hardships continue to improve and expand their fantasy RTS, which includes just enough base building and heroes with abilities to make it a game I always play with a smile on my face.
The gods have come to save us!
Their current plans include finishing the single-player campaign, as they are working on the second and third acts. They have posted screenshots in a developer blog showing both new units and locations. In addition to these, they are expanding the units and buildings which the next 2 heroes are going to have access to, like the Stable, the Longbowman and the Squire. There is also going to be another monster unit, the Cockatrice, giant chicken monstrosity that will start ravaging the battlefield in the next big update. You can see more info and details in their game's official Discord. This next game has monsters of its own, just the ancient kind come to life once more. This is gameplay footage of the demo for Repterra, a base building and survival RTS filled with dinosaurs I found a while back, but whose developer is making good progress. Its first public demo will be live on August 6th during the Tiny Teams Festival on Steam. I got to play it early and check out some of the base building and resource collection aspects, along with infantry that can ride dinosaurs, the obligatory red exploding barrels, and leathery winged scout dinosaurs. The demo has a lot of customization aspects in the form of faction perks, unlockable traits and upgrades, as well as special abilities and capturable buildings spread around the map. It is a lot of fun and I hope you will try it out. Another game which was recently updated after its initial launch is D.O.T. Defense. It now features brand new helicopters and blimps, one in each faction, with the buildings required to recruit them and passive upgrades to take direct control of them. Along with the units, new modifiers and commanders have been added to the game, as well as missions, a new map and a global high score system. Developers also made sure to balance the wave defense economy to make the matches in endless mode, for example, more fun and fair. This game will be a joy to play and you can try it out since it has a demo on its Steam store page. And speaking of demos and waves of enemies, here is one more you might be interested in trying out, Astra's Sentinel. This one offers a complete mission in which you have to defend the planet from enemies while having room to expand, if you're successful, to 2 more planets. For this you can use some of the new combat units like the Bomber with its area of effect missiles. There is tactical pause in this one, so you can give commands to units and control your buildings while planning your conquest. Devs have done their best to improve the animations, sound effects and visual effects and polish the overall gameplay. So let them know what you think of their efforts. The link to the Steam demo is in the description below. And that brings us to the last game update for this RTS news video, and definitely one of the most interesting for me, as I have gotten to know this developer well, especially his incredible talent for improving and iterating on his game design. He has changed so much of EndWar Rite of Passage since it launched into early access that I need to remind him to update his Steam page with new gameplay and screenshots, as the old ones no longer do the game justice. His 3 factions now have unique and individual tactical abilities. He has changed his game's UI, improved the controls, added quality of life options and features, while also balancing out the cost of researching and improving units, as well as some of their stats and shooting or moving capabilities. I never finished this game's campaign, as I simply enjoyed the skirmish and other game modes because of the tactical abilities and super weapons, so please, no spoilers. As always, more videos are linked here as cards on the screen and in the description. Thank you for watching and happy gaming!